Hey everybody, just making this little video about something that's interesting, if not a little bit scary, that just happened recently to my wife. And yes, everything's fine, but it happened to be the fact of an ad she had on Facebook that came up. And she has not mentioned a post about her starting this sport, or guess to say the frequency that she has been doing this sport. She hasn't gone and written about it on Facebook. That would mean they should start giving her ads for it. But she recently started getting ads for said sport, and it's not a very popular sport everywhere in the country. Her and I had never even heard of the sport until we moved to this area. So that makes it even stranger. Now I know that Facebook does track or can track your location, and so possibly because she was going and doing the sport, she was there several times, and so Facebook decided, hey, you're in this area, and that's where they play said sport, so let us give you an ad for it. Whether that is the case, or it's the fact that her phone starts listening in, which has been shown to happen. And I know that they say that you have to have certain trigger words that you use before the applications or other devices will start listening in. Well, how do they? So there's all theories about how they do that and what they don't, and they say that it does one thing and not another, and so it gets kind of muddy when you start to get into it more, because you're having to take the corporation on blind faith, which is always scary because they're a corporation and they're, at the end of the day, they only care about making a profit. And recently I found out that no, they do not legally have to make a profit, which makes it even worse than thinking that, yes, they legally have to make a profit. I found out on Cornell Law School, their website, they do speak about this, and I'll link to it in the description of this video, that they do not have to actually make a profit, that it's only the underhandedness and the need to always win and need to always have a increased profit margin that makes it so that they do. So their shareholders and the boards are the reason that they keep pushing this. So they're not legally bound to do this, but if the CEOs and the board do not make that profit, then they can get voted out. And so it's more dastardly than having to make the profit legally, because at least if they had to make it legally, then they could say that if we do not turn this profit, then we can be legally held accountable, which is not the case. And in the article that I'll reference and show and link, it shows this, which is really scary, because it's just underhandedness and greediness of people that are doing this and turning our corporations to sending jobs overseas, to making crap work hours, making crap pay. You see it with people when they complain about their Amazon jobs, with their Walmart jobs. And I know they had to have better work environments, but there's always the whole, it goes against each other when they say, well, you can always go and find a better job. Well, it depends on your upward mobility. And by that, we mean your ability to move to a new location. If you are only allowed or have the capability of either riding a bicycle or using public transportation, that job that you might supposed to be go to could be hours away that you have to ride all this stuff to go do. And there are people that do that so that they can provide for a family, which is pretty messed up. But the fact that it's strange, and maybe some of you notice this on either your Facebook or your Google, Twitter, Instagram, oh geez, TikTok, all the other sorts out there, that they might be sending you ads for stuff you've never looked for on the internet, but you've talked to people about. So it is kind of scary, and it is very funny, and funny by the mean of twisted funny, that the government is complaining about the TikTok app stealing our information, but yet we have Facebook and Google and any other search engine, or Instagram and Twitter, and gosh, a dating website, a website that you go look for on probably even Wikipedia, that takes cookies and all this other information about you, compiles it into data and sells it. Well, what's the difference between that corporation doing it and a foreign country? Really none. They're the same thing. Neither of them care for your interest. Neither of them care about you as a person, as an individual, what your beliefs are, or anything. They just look at you as how can they use you best for what they want to implement and what they want to use. So that's just kind of a quick little video on something interesting that I did notice that happened with my wife recently. All right, mention down in the comments about maybe some of the stuff that you've noticed that happened to you. Anyways, take care, everybody. This is me using my voice. Much love. Bye.